Hey everybody, Tuesday Insights. I'm meteorologist Danielle Noyes. Thanks for checking in with us. We're going to take you through the next several days into the start of the weekend to make your plans. And there's several things to keep an eye on. More midweek melting above normal temperatures, 40s, even some 50s, little refreeze during the overnight when we drop back to around 32 in spots. Snow and rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning. This is a fairly minor event. That being said, there may be some slippery travel early on Thursday. We'll take a look at that in the accumulation map, yes, as well. Big temperature swings this weekend. In fact, Saturday is going to have such a wide range of temperatures across southern New England in the 40s and maybe even some 50s. And then northern New England actually in the teens and portions of northern Maine. Sunday, we all get into the colder air. Now, satellite and radar across the country, we've got a storm. You see that counterclockwise spin, area of low pressure coming into the Pacific Northwest, sliding east. That's our next disturbance for later on tomorrow night and into Thursday. Meanwhile, we've got downpours that have been pushing off the coastline of Florida, big storm center that will sail out to sea, and our little showery activity that I talked about in Noyes' notes and 1 degree outside today earlier, that's swinging through New England today. We can track each disturbance with vorticity. What is that? In the world of meteorology, it's little bundles of energy in the atmosphere that help to kind of drive our weather. And you can see them in the oranges, the yellows, and the purples here. So this is the energy at 18,000 feet. Yes, and you notice that storm coming into the Pacific Northwest is going to spread east during the day today and tomorrow, coming into the Great Lakes and over us. Yes, by the time we get to Wednesday night and Thursday, a lot of the energy, you notice, is focused in the northern half of New England. That's not to say we won't have any wet weather in southern New England, but that's where at least some of the steadier precipitation may fall. It does keep on moving, a fairly progressive system, and then we open the door to colder air, but not really until the second half of the weekend as a fast-moving clipper system comes in. So, weather forecast map for our Wednesday shows that area of low pressure coming through the Great Lakes, sliding east. Otherwise, the country on the whole is fairly quiet with a couple ridges of high pressure in control. A lot of warmth, too. Quite a contrast compared to last week. We're talking about 70s and 80s, and then some relatively cooler air here across the Northeast. So that's where that storm center is riding, right along that battle zone of cooler air and warmth dragging in from the south. That all slides through New England during the day, Wednesday night into Thursday, tapering off after that. Behind it, we get relatively cooler air that comes into the picture on Friday, and that may result in a few mountain upslope snow showers and maybe a passing sprinkle or flurry for the rest of us. Then the next clipper system, fast-moving, clippers fairly moisture-starved, comes in for the upcoming weekend. So we'll take it one disturbance at a time. By the time we get to tomorrow morning, so Wednesday, sunshine, some clouds in the mountains, maybe a northern New England snow shower flurry continues, but the bulk of our Wednesday is fairly quiet with a good amount of sunshine and some late-day clouds that come in that will thicken during the late evening and overnight. Notice, in fact, by 10, 11 p.m., there may be a rain or snow shower coming into southwestern New England, a flurry farther east, and that will tend to fill in a little bit during the overnight and pre-dawn on Thursday. Notice there will likely be a rain-snow line. Most of this will be fairly light, whether it's rain or snow. It's not like it's real heavy precipitation. That being said, Thursday morning, when you get north of Boston, north of the Merrimack Valley, in through a lot of central New England, it will be cold enough for a little burst of snow. Any burst of snow in southern New England along the Mass-New Hampshire border will change over to rain by the time we get to as early as mid-morning in most spots. And then it tapers off for most of us with a lingering shower in southern New England, rain shower as the temperatures boost into the 40s. Northern New England will have some pockets of light snow showers, particularly with elevation in the mountains. So it's really a very brief window. I'm thinking pre-dawn on Thursday into early Thursday morning that we may have some slick spots. Now, this is an early accumulation map, and you notice as you line it up here to the legend, it's perhaps a coating that falls right along the Mass Turnpike, points north. When you get right along the Mass-New Hampshire border, there may be as much as an inch, and north of that, 1 to 3 inches is the general kind of feeling here across much of the northern half of New England. Yes, these blues do line up to 2 to 4, but I think we'll be on the lower side of those, 2 inches, and a few spots that may come down, maybe as much as 3 or 4 with elevation across the Green Mountains and in far northern Maine. Otherwise, yes, most spots end up with 1, 2 inches in the northern half of New England and then less. It's just a little bit of snow that will briefly come down in Massachusetts before we see a change over to rain as the warmth comes in. That all departs by the time we get to Thursday evening. Behind it, again, some upslope snow showers, adding some fresh snow in the mountains during the day on Friday. Otherwise, it's sun and clouds. I can't rule out a sprinkle or a flurry on Friday, but it's not a big deal. And then as we head into the start of the weekend, here comes the next fast-moving clipper system that should spread some light snow in Friday night into Saturday morning. Kind of similar to this next disturbance that comes in. It's a brief burst, but then we get warm enough to change over to rain in many areas, lingering as some snow in the mountains. Again, clipper systems, usually really fast moving, not a ton of moisture with it, but it will drop a few inches, particularly in the mountains. Again, most of that comes in Friday overnight into Saturday. Warm enough that, again, we change over to some rain showers and much of the remainder of New England. So we'll keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, high temperatures for our Wednesday, upper 30s north, 40s to near 50 south. The wind more out of the northwest, generally about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it won't be quite as mild as what we have out there today. Wednesday night, yes, we drop below freezing in much of northern and central New England. So you notice that rain snow line probably positioned north of Boston. Even if we get a few wet flakes that mix in, because we've been so warm, there won't be as big an impact on the roads. When you get across northern Massachusetts and central New England, that's where I'm thinking some of those slippery spots will result pre-dawn and during the early morning hours on Thursday. It's really a brief window, though, because look at the high temperatures. By Thursday afternoon, we jump into the 40s in many areas, and any lingering snow will be tapering off. Any lingering rain showers will be ending as well. Friday will be slightly cooler, a pretty seasonable day overall for the last day of February, 40 to 45 in southern New England and 30s to the north, so maybe a few localized slick spots in the far north country. Saturday, as some light rain and snow will be over us, 40 south and 30s to the north, with, again, some accumulation that will track. The wind also cranks up out of the south. The south coast may get some gusts that go 30 to 40 miles per hour on Saturday. So that's why there's such a wide range in temperatures, from jumping up potentially into the 50s along the south coast and staying colder to the north. It'll be a big time difference on Sunday. Some of these numbers may actually be a little bit conservative, but the wind chill on Sunday goes back into the single digits and teens for many of us. And you'll see that in the 14-day forecast on our app, that the temperature is going to be much colder on Sunday, back to below normal temperatures. So these swings are going to be coming in here. And Matt talked about that in pattern predictions yesterday. Check it out, which takes us out pretty much through the middle part of March with cold air and some increased storminess that will come back into play with an active jet stream. That is at the top of our app, of course, on our website as well, and social media. And if you haven't downloaded our app, give it a try. It's free on the App Store and Google Play. We'll see you with more weather later on.